Hello, happy Tuesday. Welcome to the Premier League show. This is Back of the Net. We're an AFC Bournemouth fan channel, but this is the show where we don't talk about us, we talk about you. My name's Sam Davis.
My name's Tom Jordan.
If you're brand new here and you want some content on the Cherries, but also covering your club when we play you, and we do lots of content around that, and there's a couple of things you can do to help us out.
Yeah, click that like button, gets out to more people. Appreciate that one, and then hit that subscribe button. That's the most important one. Click that for us, and if you click on the bell, it'll tell you when we got a video out. And yeah, as Sam says, lots of Bournemouth stuff, but also we go to every single game, so we will be covering your club at some point, and we do shows like this, the Premier League show.
And this weekend, we found out 5 talking points. We realised 5 things. We do 5 different points on the things that we think you'd be interested in to get the views in, right? No, it's not about that. It's about doing it fairly. Right, let's just check the results to start off with, and there they were on the Saturday. Manchester City and Liverpool, Trent Alexander-Arnold silencing the Etihad, which isn't usually that loud anyway, but there you go, 1-1. And then look, Burnley losing over to West Ham, leaving it late. Luton Town, fair play to them, big win for Newcastle. Brighton hanging on there. Bournemouth, we just blunted the blades.
Win football matches.
Arsenal getting the win at Brentford. And then on the Sunday, of course, there it was, 2-1, big win for Villa. Man United, 3-0 over Everton. And on Monday night, Gary O'Neill is aggrieved yet again. We're not going to cover this in the VAR section of the show. I think he's had it nearly every week. But my God, I feel sorry for the guy. Alas, Fulham, they pull away from the drop zone, a 3-2 win over Wolves, and I'm sure there will be a lot of fallout over Gary O'Neill's post-match interview. So, what about these 5 points then? Point number 1. Have Manchester City dropped their levels? Have they? I mean, look, the performance against Liverpool, I think, was all right.
Yeah.
I think Liverpool rode their luck at times. Having said that, I don't know, you could be right. Maybe they have.
Yeah, it's a weird one, isn't it? It's because the levels are so high at Man City, and I know Gary Neville and a few people have spoke about this, and obviously Gary Neville's got experience of winning a treble, and it's very hard. You just won the treble, so and I don't know. Don't get me wrong; they're still, in my opinion, the favourites to win the league. I'd still say they will, but I thought at parts of the Liverpool game, we've seen a few games this season. Obviously, lost to Arsenal. I remember they just got over the line against Sheffield United, for example. I just feel like, yes, maybe when De Bruyne comes back, it'll be a little bit better for him. But yeah, I just don't feel they're flowing as well at the moment. Listen, they'll probably still absolutely smash it. We probably all say this every season without realising. But I don't think at 1-0 against Liverpool, you kind of think, right, City just getting together, finish this game off, and it never materialised. And you always felt like in that game that Liverpool would get a moment. And obviously they took that, and Liverpool are the type of side that will take their moments. So yeah, I don't know why, but at the moment I just feel like, have they dropped off a little bit? Because I don't think Arsenal have been unbelievable. I think they were better last season, and they're still above Man City.
Yeah.
So yeah, remains to be seen on that one, because I'm sure City will go about 1 million games unbeaten and smash it all, and we can't really talk because they look pretty good against us. But yeah, I don't know. Have they dropped a little bit, and will teams like Arsenal take advantage of that? Because at the moment they're doing so without being brilliant.
Agreed. Yeah, we'll have to keep our eyes on them. Point number 2, Burnley crumbled. So will that spell the end for Vinny? It could do. Look, I mean, there are a couple of managers that are definitely under pressure.
Yeah.
I think that Heckingbottom's one of them. Company, though, I mean, rooted to the bottom of the table. We'll see the league table a bit later on after we've gone over these 5 points. But Everton are still above them. It's not looking particularly great for them. They started the game relatively well against West Ham, forging a number of chances, but then I don't know if it's concentration levels. I don't know whether it's the amount of work that Vincent Kompany's getting him to do, but they looked a little bit leggy, and then West Ham, they sprung up with 2 late goals to win the game. Yeah,
it just felt like one of them moments, mate, where I think Kompany's a good coach. I think we all know that. We saw what he did last season for him. But we all know what it's like in the Premier League, and the owners and stuff are going to get a bit worried. I just think it was one of them games where they led. They've had a tough start of the season, but they led in the game. They were doing fine. And to lose it with that little time to go, even when they conceded late, you think, okay, they still got a point. To then can still manage to find a way. That's what they seem to be doing, find a way to lose the game.
Yeah.
Because against, we could talk about ourselves. Against us, we haven't won a game when we played them. And a bit of an error, and we managed to lob their goalkeeper. And it just feels like whatever they're doing, they're finding ways to lose football matches. And if you're the manager, you're the coach there, I just feel like it doesn't feel like they're getting the rubber green. Nothing's going for them, and I just wonder as owners, you go, something's got to change.
He needs a plan B, and it seems that they haven't particularly got that. We've found our rhythm, and it's funny. I was chatting to Vizzy when we did the opposition preview ahead of our game against them at home not so long ago, and he said, Burnley, I feel like the Bournemouth of the North at the moment because we're trying this football philosophy. It's not quite working yet, but they've got loads of like wingers on their side, lacking players in sort of key positions, and things weren't clicking. Now, it's clicked for us, but will it for them? Can they afford to give him much more time? I think the owners are keen to stick with Company because he's shown what he can do in the Championship, but this is a different league.
Yeah, it depends what the ownership and what the model is there and what their thought process is, because I'm not being funny, if they do go down and keep Company, they've got the squad and a coach to take them back up, in my opinion. So, but I just think owners get a bit twitchy and they think, but if we do change, could we stay up? It remains to be seen with that. I think they should stick with him, but does that mean they'll stay up? I'm not sure at the moment. It just feels they're in a really tough place. But as you said, mate, we are at the moment a sign of a team that if you stick with it, you just wait for things to click, it will click. So hopefully Burnley stick with him. That was just a worrying way to lose a game for me.
Yeah. Point 3. You've got to take your hat off to Luton. See what I did there? Luton Town 2, Crystal Palace 1. And look, there are certain games during a season that you want to be targeting. And I think maybe that was one of them. And to get a result over the Eagles, I think, was huge. They took the lead. Palace equalised with Worldy, by the way. Worldy. And I thought that would be the best goal of the weekend at one stage. Obviously not. But then they just had the mentality to come back, and then Brown notched the winner, his first Premier League goal, just absolutely ghosting in there, putting it in the back of the net to get the Hatters the 3 points, and as a result, they are now 4 points clear of the relegation zone, which they'll be absolutely delighted with. And things are looking quite good for them, and we've always said home form. It's crucial for them. And
as you said, mate, these are the type of games they're going to target. That's no disrespect to Palace, but they've got to look at them sort of games at home to try and get wins. And I think the opposite of Burnley, really. I think the fact that they took the lead in the game, Luton, and they conceded really quickly. I think at least they scored a minute or two after. So to then show it would have been easy then to kind of be like, bloody typical. They're finding a way to grind out a win. The opposite of Burnley, where they're throwing it away. And I just think Luton have got that. We all knew they'd have that bit of togetherness, fighting spirit, but I actually think they've got some players. Obviously Brown getting his goal was big for him, getting his first goal. Benny, they've actually got some players that can hurt them. I think actually Barkley's playing well at the moment as well. They've got something about them at the moment. And you look at the other two teams that come up, and then obviously you go into Everton's point deduction. I think Luton now have got to be looking at it going, we've got enough here. And they're getting the wins when they need to. So they'll be in amongst it for the season, but they're going to be scrapping all the way, and they're showing that they can be resolute, but also got a bit of quality that maybe people didn't give enough credit to. And Rob Edwards is a good coach for me, so they're looking good, mate.
Point 4. Kai Havertz scores again. Hang on. So Arsenal, like you said, haven't been brilliant. They're top of the league. They're top of the league, and they left it late, and they'll have known what happened during the lunchtime fixture, of course, and everything that happened. So, which ensured that had they won, they would be top of the league. And he popped up at the right moment. Cue scenes at the G-Tech, but grinding it out.
That's one of them signing champions. Like
it's one
of them. Of course. But I just think. Last season, Arsenal were an absolute joy to watch at this stage. They were unplayable, just incredible, and they went up the blip and didn't win the league. This season, I don't think they've looked anywhere near as good to watch on the eye, but they're still top, and I almost feel like, so that scintillating stuff, is that still to come? Do you know what I mean? They're getting the results when they're not playing well. Like, Saka's numbers are incredible this season. I don't think Saka's hit his levels yet.
No.
That he did last season.
He's playing too much football, by the way.
Yeah, he's played a lot. And Southgate using him a bit, I don't think was right either. He didn't need to. So, but yeah, and Havertz, obviously we know it hasn't worked. He's not looked good, blah, blah, blah. And that's just one of them things that you bring him on the bench, they were putting a lot of balls in the box and no one was getting on the end of them. And Havertz did, and you just think, is that the way it's going for Arsenal at the moment? Because we all know, I think Tottenham slipped up there. I think City last season lost there. Brentford's a tough place to go. So to go there, not play brilliantly, but still have relative control and find a way to win in it is a really, really positive sign for Arsenal. So yeah, that was a big, big win for them, mate. And it could have been different. I know Ramsdale struggled, and that's where you bring in Declan Rice, match-saving clearance off the line for them. But Arsenal ticking along, mate, without being brilliant, and they're in the top of the league. So.
They are, and Arteta's won more matches in his first 200 in charge than any of the other 9 Arsenal managers to reach that milestone. His bold team selection there, I think, showed that they had what it takes to take the 3 points, and they did. They left it late though, but fair play. Arsenal, top of the league. We'll show you the league table later. Would you like that? We'll do it for you.
Mind it, mate.
Point number 5. Yeah, because you want to see us.
Yeah.
Spursy or unlucky? What a game that was, by the way. They started off really well. They did.
Yeah.
Ange Ball in full effect, though. I mean, I know that Spurs fans say, yeah, but it's Ange Ball, so if we win or lose, at least we're being entertained.
Yeah, but you want to win it. You still want to win.
You want to win games.
And there's a few little stats in there. So they've led in, I think it's like 3 games in a row and lost them all. And so that just sounds Spursy. But it's good that I get why people do that. It's a bit of a meme. But in context, the injuries are unbelievable. I mean, we spoke with our own football club about injuries, so it wouldn't be fair for me not to. Both centre halves.
Yeah.
And then in the middle of the park, I think Basuma's suspended. Sarr come back with an injury. They bring back Bentancur. He gets injured in the game. I mean, they were in a really bad place injury-wise. He played against Villa, who we all know how good they're doing, with no centre-backs. Yeah. He played Emerson Royale and Ben Davies at centre-back. So, and they still really impressed me in that first half. But how they weren't leading at half-time, and Villa are finding a way. They're Emery's class, and it's a really, really difficult team to play. So I'm going to go for the unlucky at the moment for Spurs. And I think, listen, the way they started the season, they'll be gutted. But really, they're in a position, they're still better than you'd expect them to be. And, you know, some of the players they're having to play, no disrespect, but, you know, Højbjerg's coming on in the middle of the park. They've had to rely on Dyer recently. They started with Gil and Lo Celso, who no one even thought would be at the football club. So I still think they're in a good place, and I don't think Tottenham fans are getting worried. But I think they've just got to ride the fact that these little memes and that, because I think they've got a top gaffer there and they'll be absolutely fine. They just need some bodies back. And I do think a lot of people did say, don't get carried away because they haven't got the depth.
Yeah, and that's proven to be.
But what will be interesting is if Daniel Levy goes, I've now seen we've got a brilliant coach here. Let's give him a bit more. If we can give him a bit more in January.
Would he though? He's not.
I'm not sure, but it only needs a few little bits just to help the squad depth, I think. And then I think they'll be nailed on for top 4. But at the moment, with the injuries and that, they might just miss out.
All that leads towards the league table then after match week 13. There we have it. Arsenal are top of the league. But I tell you what, I mean, how are Man United 2 wins away from the top of the league?
Why does it feel like they're rubbish?
So
but look at the W's.
It's brilliant.
They're unbelievable. It's so weird. So weird. We've got to quickly say, I know we briefly mentioned it when you talked about Elise's goal, that Garnacho goal.
Oh my God.
It's one of the best goals I think I've seen in the Premier League.
Was it better than Rooney's?
Miles.
I mean, Rooney shinned his.
Context.
The gravitas of the game.
That's why.
Manchester derby, and it was the winning goal, wasn't it? 4-3.
Yeah.
So that one came after 2 minutes, but what a good strike.
Just the technique, everything about it was exceptional.
Could that be goal of the season?
I mean, if it's not, then we're going to see a hell of a goal from Marcus Tavernier at some point. Jesus. But no, got to have a shout for that. But yeah, Man U, weird one. Like you say, feels like they haven't been good, but they're in it.
It's good that it's
West
close.
Ham as well.
West Ham.
I don't feel like they've been that good, but they've somehow managed to. Yeah.
And it's close. I mean, look, you know, we could have a scenario. We hope not, being Bournemouth fans, of course, because we play Villa. But Villa, for instance, could be top of the league next weekend. Obviously, we hope that doesn't happen. But you know what? Teams are showing vulnerabilities at the moment, and I'm all for it. Liverpool, mentality monsters. Tom has said it before. It's going to be an interesting festive period. Maybe that will sort the wheat from the chaff. Right, Any official observations? A few issues at the Tottenham Hotspur Stadium.
Yeah, a few. I'd like to point out that I don't think it was as bad a weekend as that. One of the least controversial weekends, which is nice.
VAR in.
But yeah, the Spurs game was. I know it didn't actually matter in the end, but I was watching the game and they just said that. Oh, by the way, this is at the start of the game. But by the way, the video's not working, so we can't use VAR for a bit. Oh, okay. What? Yeah, we probably need some more money in the game, don't we? They had some sort of technical issue. Luckily, they got it back in, and it was all fine. And there was a few disallowed goals that they got right. There was a blatant elbow that I think they showed at half time.
Yeah, that's right.
It was so blatant, and you go, why didn't they look at that? I just don't get it. I just don't understand why a blatant elbow. They go, oh, they probably should check that. Move on. No, why didn't they then? That's why it's there.
I wish we didn't need this section. I really wish. Was there anything else?
We would have watched it together, mate, in the early kickoff, the City.
Oh, at lunchtime.
Let me know if I'm wrong here. I just don't understand why Diaz's goal was disallowed. I think it was a Kanji that went up with Alisson, who had a bad game, didn't he? Especially for his high standards. That's a little bit of a nut. But I just feel like that's not VAR. That is a thing that's been going on for so long for me, that goalkeepers get so overprotected in them areas.
The weird thing is, like, when I looked at it, it didn't look like there was a lot of contact, but the way that Alisson sort of arches his back after something happens, I don't know, he obviously felt a hand on the shoulder or something, but he sort of arched his back in to indicate, his jump was stunted by him being
there. If the goalkeeper makes that much contact to an attacker, it's not penalty.
No, it's not. No.
And I just felt like that was a really soft goal to disallow. But what we'll say is that it's at the Etihad. It was against Man City, so you can't say about the big club kind of bars there. But that was just one that, not so much VAR, but they annoy me them. I feel like keepers get a little bit too much protection in them areas. But yeah, not too bad for the...
Well done, VAR.
Yeah.
Well done.
And we had in our game that we went to, I thought our referee done well. So yeah.
You know what? Andy Madden, he let the game flow.
Yeah, really good.
That doesn't happen enough. Well, there you go. That is the Premier League show for this Thursday. If that button is not red, make sure you click it. I'm talking about the subscribe one. Make sure you click it and give this video a like. We truly appreciate it. We hope your team does well in the next match week, unless you support Aston Villa, because we want 3 points.
Come on,
up the Premier League.
Premier League.
See you next time.
Bye.